Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. This is Dominic Cicale, Mafia Roundtable. I'd like to thank our sponsor, EG Vodka. Go to egvodka.com, order your vodka. Once you get it, you will not be disappointed. Best tasting vodka on the market. We have a premium vodka and average price. Tito, we're coming for you. We're going to take you off the top of the mountain. We're actually gunning for you, Mafia style. egvodka.com, order your vodka, you'll love it. We also have Champagne D-Rock, and we're going to be bringing to the States a new mezcal. Just had the meeting the other day, and we'll be integrating that to our brands. So, with that, this story goes back to basically when I first was released from prison back in 1999. And I'm going to skip around a little bit, but it has to deal with a construction business. I was living in South Jersey with my wife, and what happened one evening, it was my birthday. I was working in the local 7 out in Jersey, Tile Marble Terrazzo Union, making excellent money there in the union. And it was my birthday, and I I went to bed, had a long day, and I felt like a presence standing over me. And I look, and my wife is standing over me. And at that time, the cell phones just opened like Star Trek. You had the flip phones, they would call. And she has my phone, and it's opened, and she's yelling, and like I'm just in a grog. I hear her saying, "Who does this bitch think she is?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? This fucking bitch doesn't even have the decency to call the house. She wants to call your cell phone. What are you, sleeping with her?" I said, "What are you talking about? Your fucking cousin." I'm like, "You're out of your fucking mind." With that, she takes the phone, snaps it. I jump up. We're arguing back and forth. She goes in the kitchen and grabs a knife. Now, she had done that many, many times before. And what I would do is just run, make her feel, she was very, very jealous. So this one time, she's coming at me with the knife, and like I went to go like I'm running, so she thought like she could chase me. And as I stepped into. I grabbed the blade, twisted it, got it out of her hand. Wound up just like cutting my finger a little bit, but I took it out of her hand. And I'm like, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. I'm not scared of you, your knives, whatever you think you're gonna do. You really got it twisted. And we're arguing. Well, get out of my house. I'm not going anywhere. This is maybe about 12:30, 1 in the morning. I'm not leaving anywhere. I have work tomorrow. I have to get up in 2 hours. Get out. I'm going to call the cops. Call the cops. She calls the cops. Long and short of it all, they arrest me, the O.J. Simpson law at that time. I go into jail. I had a car wash also at that time, hand car wash, with a guy in South Jersey named Rex who grew up in that area of Jersey, Rosenhain. It's a violent area. It's in between Philly and AC, Atlantic City, AC. And I'm sitting in the jail, and I always told my wife, "You ever call the cops on me, I'll never go back to you. That's it, done." And I'm sitting in the jail. All of a sudden, I'm asking for commissary slips, books, and I'm just kicked back with my feet up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be here a week or two. Who knows how long until I see a judge. I'm going to make myself comfortable. Hey, how do you send the money in? I'm asking. All of a sudden, one of the COs, correction officers, comes up. "Hey, Dominic, yeah, what's up?" Like, he knew my first name. Like, what the fuck? It's usually they address you by your last name. He says, "Here, somebody wants to talk to you." I pick up the phone. It's my partner, Rex, in the car wash. Like I said, he grew up in that small town. So he says, "That's my boy who gave you the phone. Whatever you need, just let him know. Nothing illegal, but whatever you need, he's there for you." He said, "Damn, what the fuck are you doing?" I said, "What are you talking about, Rex?" He said, "My boy told me when I described you," he says, "Oh, that guy? Damn, he's kicked back, laid up, like he's not even stressing." I guess usually people stress, but I'm so used to jail, it's not even funny. Anyway, I make bail. Vinny gets word. I called my cousin. She got in touch with Vinny. They get bail. He has a guy, Al Fiello, who owns an electric company. With that, I have the cops escort me to the house to get my things. I had also my cousin's boyfriend, Joe Barone, who I spoke about in one of the podcasts. I don't think that podcast is released yet. He comes, picks me up out of the jail. I get bailed out. We go to the house with the officer. I take all my clothes out. Everything while the officers are there. She was like, just didn't know what to say. And we leave. We head down to New York. I'm living at my cousin's house in the meantime, my mother's house. And then finally I got my own apartment. Vinny's mother-in-law had a house she just bought, and I rented one of the apartments in the house. And with that, Vinny hooked me up with Al Fiello, who has an electric company. He did all Vinny's number locations. And now his new partner, Michael, who's an engineer. I don't want to mention his last name. And I'm bidding tile work now, because that's what I was doing for the past year. I was in the tile marble terrazzo union. So I want to bid tile work, union work. I have the union card, so it's easy to do. And with Michael's connections, the Hunts Point Meat Market, they were doing a new section of the meat market. Michael and Al are there. They got me in. They get me my first tile job there. And maybe about $175,000, $180,000 job. I bid it. I got the job. And so now we're building a bond. These are Vinny's connections. He hooks me up with these guys and Vinny tells me, there's a guy, Joe Zaleski. Excuse me. I want you to grab him. He's in the city. He has the third largest construction company in Manhattan. He's not around anybody. And grab him, go into him, tell him, who the fuck do you think you are? You know, who you running around the city? This is our city. You know, so I said, all right, I have it, Vinny. I'll do that. I know what I have to do. So he said, all right, good. So I grabbed maybe about half a dozen guys with me. We get a van, another car, and I get the tip off. I'm waiting outside. Joe has a big meeting in the city. So I'm standing outside the building. The guys are posted up. All of a sudden, I get the heads up from our inside source. That's him. They give the nod. I go in front of him. All of a sudden, all the guys, they swoon around him. So basically, he's sheltered. Nobody could see him. So little German guy in the middle of us, older guy. So I says, Joe, looks up. Who the fuck do you think you are? Well, what are you talking about? Come here, step aside. And we all step aside away from the entrance. I says, do you have this company? He says, yes. You don't answer to anybody. He says, what are you talking about? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. This is our city. Right away, he gets it. He knows what time it is. Give me your wallet. I want your wallet. I want your ID right now. Goes in his pocket. Goes, gets the wallet. Come with us. Come on. You're going in the van. It's either you're going to come with us or we're going to just throw you in the fucking van. Looks at me, says, please. I have no problem. I'll sit down with you. I'll talk with you. I have to go to this meeting. Please. I'll sit down with you. I don't have an issue. I know you could overpower me right now, and I have no choice, but I can't miss this meeting. It's that important. So I'm looking at him. I was going to take his license, and I said, you know what? I'm not even taking your license. I said, for some reason, I believe you. I just went with my gut on this. Usually 10 times out of 10, my gut's always been right. And even when I didn't go with my gut, it wound up biting me in the ass. Because I chose different from my gut. I went with my heart instead of my gut. So I said, you know what? I believe you for some reason. But let me tell you something. If you think the FBI, local law enforcement, or you're going to set me up when I meet you, you see these 6 guys? So he looks around, yes. You'll never see them again, because the next 6 that come for you, you'll never know. You'll never know their faces. Okay, I'll meet you. Set up a meeting. I'm pretty sure it was either that evening or the next morning. I met up with him. I went by myself because, God forbid, if it was a setup, I'm not bringing any of my guys, to get arrested. I met with him, sat down with him, introduced myself. I said, Joe, listen, you're around this city and this can't happen. You have to be around somebody. So you're going to be around me from here on out. If you have any problem, I give him the whole speech. Anybody does anything to you, anybody doesn't pay, let me know. You have any problem with the unions, let me know. We're here for you. They actually put up the first green building in Manhattan. So with that, I'm explaining everything to him. Now comes the money part. And I know he's waiting for that. I'm like, Joe, I don't want any money from you. I don't want a dime from you. All I want is the opportunity to bid on your jobs, from concrete to block work to framing, electrical, garbage, whatever you have. Give me the opportunity to bid, and I want the last look at it. If I could come in at those numbers, give me the opportunity to work. If my work is shoddy or we underperform, kick me off the job. But that's what I want from you. I want your word. He says, you got my word. Gave me a whole bunch of work. First thing was the block work. He came up with numbers that couldn't beat. So I said, no, I couldn't do that. Electrical, he already had somebody there. A few more trades, couldn't compete, couldn't go in. He even offered, no, Joe, I have no connections with that. Then finally, the trash, which is huge when you're putting up a 57-story building. All the mini dumpsters, the big dumpsters, and that's how we forged our relationship. But Joe was like amazed. And then the jobs we did get from him, they gave us, we performed, we did everything we had to. So I didn't shake him down. I didn't take money out of his pocket. We performed, we did what we had to do. And then the stuff, like there were some jobs I really wanted where I could put a few $1 million in my pocket for myself and the crime family. But I just couldn't compete, and I told Joe no, and he respected that. We would never meet on job sites, always off locations, because I didn't want to draw heat if I had any heat on me, which at that time I was under the radar. This was before Vinny opened up his big mouth. I was a captain in the crime family. But, and it just so happened, I got busy. I'm doing other things. That's running itself. I didn't see Joe, because Joe also put me in touch with his lead guy who used to work for the Trump organization. So I used to meet him all the time, ask him what's the bid. He would give me plans or tell me, hey, Dom, this is open. Here's the pricing you need to be at. And that's the way we worked it. It was maybe about 6-7 months I didn't see Joe at all. Zero communication. It's around Christmas time. I'm in the city, and I'm with my son's mother. And we're just walking in Manhattan. We just came out of one of the lounges or a bar, whatever it was. And we're going now to have dinner somewhere. Just walking. What was I here? Dominic! And I look. I see this little guy. He's across the street waving. So I'm squinting. I'm like, oh, fuck, that's Joe. Comes running over through the traffic and everything. Horns are beeping. Sirens are going. Makes it across, and he has a younger guy with him. Dom, have you been? Gives me a big hug. I introduce him to my son's mother. And he said, Dom, I want you to meet my son. He's in college. I'm spending time with him in the city. Introduces me to his son. Great conversation. With that, I said, Joe, wish you and your family a happy holiday. And thank you for all the work and everything. And, we parted ways. So as we're walking, I'm like, wow. Here's a legitimate guy never around anybody in the Mafia. And it just shows you, I went at him hard, but I was always respectful, never went in his pocket. For him to do that, it showed me the respect this guy had for me, to introduce me to his son, to call me when he knew I didn't see him. And I pride myself with that, not being a bully, not being a thug, treating people with respect. And here's a guy who I went at him, thought it was going to be a shakedown, and all I was doing, I want an opportunity, but you're under our protection as well. And I was just amazed with that. It really touched deep in my heart when he did that. Because you have the guys in the life like myself, a wise guy, what they'll do. Here's what I want every month. And this is what I need. And I looked at it. What am I going to take from him? 150, 250,000 a year with Christmas included. And that's it. I cap out. Or with these jobs, when we got framing work, there's $1.5 million profit in there. If I got the plumbing work, there's another $3 million profit there. Like, I could make so much more money, and that's what I did. But the average thug gangster out there, they would rather an envelope because they don't think. But that's just one of many stories. I have more to come with Al Fiello. Some funny, some not. But if you like that, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, order your vodka, egvodka.com, premium vodka at an average price. You will not be disappointed. Everyone have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Much love and respect.